What?
Seems good.
Stream is starting. The Captain Coder at the helm. Bean water is ready. Today we will learn a lot. He loves the questions. He loves to sing. Join our Discord. Follow him.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you happen to be in the world. Captain Coder here on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. Monday morning for me. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you happen to be. I got my what do we have here? I say a lot. I was rewatching a little bit. I said, Dramokes, we got a fresh cut Saturday. We got a fresh cut. Yes, Dramokes, welcome back. Lo-Fi Craft. Yeah, that's right. We have an intro now. The intro is brought to us by the incredible Sijian DeKirk. Sijian made that for us. Our 1,000 follow, also our 2,000 follow. Also the creator of that. I believe it's an AI generated song. For our intro, we slapped together some stuff in there. We got to make. I keep saying I want to do this. I want to do a clip contest. Why can't I resize this window? What is going on here, folks? Look at this madness. Look at this madness. It's not letting me resize the window. Amaz, welcome to the stream. Voiceless Coder, nice to have you here. Look at this madness. This window, I can't make it any smaller. I just updated OBS. Apparently that the OBS doesn't let you make a window smaller than that. Come on, OBS. Now I have to move everything over on this other monitor. I just updated OBS this morning, which has me slightly terrified. That's weird. Why won't you let me? It used to let me make the window smaller. Now it won't let me make the window smaller. Come on. Come on. What kind of garbage is this? Anyway, no way is the song AI generated. Wouldn't have been able to tell. Yeah, that I believe the intro song is AI generated. I believe it's an AI generated song. Sijian asked it to generate a song based off of the stream or something. I don't know exactly the details, but it's pretty cool. So I had some clips. We put them on there. I want to do a clip next month. Next month, we're doing a clip contest for clips to do the outro video clip contests. I'm saying it now. We got to get it. We got to make a clip contest happen. I've been wanting to do one for a long time. I never quite get there, but I want to welcome everyone back to the stream. Poostat, congratulations once again on your exclamation point first. That's 2 days in a row, my friend. Congratulations. Roger Dev, it's so wonderful to have you here with us on this beautiful morning. Lo-Fi Craft, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you liked the intro. I think you liked the intro. I see all those exclamation points and question marks. That makes me think you like the intro, but it's nice to have you here. Dram, how have you been? How's your game coming along? How's life, the universe, and everything treating you, my friend? I'm glad you're here. Smab, welcome back. How to outsource work, have a contest. There will be, look, Smab, you have a contest with prizes, right? Prizes. Don't worry, there's gonna be prizes. I promise. We'll have plenty of prizes. So don't worry, Smab. It's not an out. Okay, you're right. The prizes exposure travel. That's right. Exposure to the sun. Maybe Kovalaki. It's nice to have you here. How you been, friend? Thank you for the Clayman, Captain Clayman. Fixit 42, enjoy your day. Keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be. Fixit. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for being here. Devro as well. It's wonderful having you here. BK says Devro is one of the greatest names on Twitch. It's also Devro. Did you know Devro is one of the greatest streamers on Twitch, creating an incredible 3D game. Devro, how has your streams been going? Usually streaming Sunday, Wednesday, but also in the mornings, often throughout the week before me. I see him pretty frequently these days. Code Monk, welcome back to the stream. Voiceless, FLP, and Amaz, welcome to the stream. It's so nice to have the whole crew with us today. So nice to have the whole crew. Yesterday, folks, let me get this open. I had so much fun. I'm gonna lurk. No worries, Devro. Enjoy your lurk, my friend. Thank you for hanging out with us. You know I love you. You know I love the lurk. Look, the lurks are what make it work. The lurks make this works. The lurk makes it work. Let's go with that. The lurk makes it work. Have a beautiful day, Devro. Folks, we made a Raylib version of this. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. I had so much fun with the .NET Run project Raylib. We got the Raylib version of our. Come on. There it goes. Raylib chess. We got the Raylib chess solver or chess puzzler. Look at that. Look at that. Nice and easy. Look, this was one of the simplest libraries to use. I thought this was simpler than Monogame. I thought this was simpler than the Simple Fast Media Library. I thought this was simpler than Simple Fast Media Library. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. I thought this was super straightforward to use, really easy to use. The examples were wonderful. I need to get a better font in here. The font loading seems like it might be a little bit more tricky. A little trickier, a little bit more tricky. A little bit trickier. How would we say that? But we have 80 chess puzzles here. Press Y to get a solution. Press Y to get a solution. And then it tells you, hey, look, you cheated. Cheater, pumpkin eater, had a chess game, couldn't beat her. So you press that Y key hard, and now you got a solution. Do you feel good about it? No, but now you're like, oh, it's possible. The font seems appropriate for the simple level of puzzle. Yeah, so I had to load this font. The default font was horrific, Smab. The default font was horrific. Let's take a quick look at the final solution. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out here. I'm really happy with how this turned out here. And I'm super excited to do this with my students. I don't know exactly what parts I'm going to have them implement or not implement just yet. We're going to do a Unity version today. But look how simple this code is. So the game controller, look, game controller, boom, simple. I abstracted out the game state to a headless version. Was the font more horrible than the TIC80 one? I think it's better than the TIC80 one. Totally visualize the solver in it. That'd be awesome. That would be pretty, I think that'd be pretty easy to do. Maybe we'll do that with the Unity version. Maybe we'll do that with the Unity version. But the menu doesn't line up probably because the N seems wider, for example. It's not a mono font. The font is not mono. unfortunately, and I don't know. Yeah, it's certainly not a monospaced font. So it's not a monospaced font. I suppose if I had a monospaced font, it would probably work. Or is it monospaced? It's definitely not monospaced. You can tell it's not monospaced. You can write the lines in parts. I could do a lot of things, but you can really tell it's not monospaced when you look at this L here. This L is way not monospaced. We could line up the left side, Smab. We could do that. We could make that happen. But I'm not gonna. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at with it. I'm pretty happy with it. It wouldn't be that hard. It would not be that hard. I could do the following. Let's see, how hard would it be? So our info render, boo, Smab says boo, boo. Look, look, I'm doing it just to torch you, Smab. Smab, you know what you could do? Smab, you boo. You know what you could do? This is an open source project. You can make a pull request. You can make a pull request. You want to line up that font? Let's do a pull request. You know the best part? You know my favorite part about Raylib is that it runs on Mac with no dependencies having to be installed aside from .NET. I have .NET, boom, I didn't have to install anything else. I added the package, it just runs. Smab, are you really gonna do a pull request for me, Smab? If you are, I'm not gonna do it. Add an issue and remind me. I'll fix it right now, actually. It's not that hard. Shouldn't be that hard to do. It does take into account some stuff. I normally redo my hat around about now, but the hair is looking good today. Gotta have mercy. I appreciate that, BK. I appreciate that. I feel like this is not the best haircut I've had, but it's certainly all right. It's all right. It's not the worst haircut I've had either. So let me show you what's going on with that. It's using this Romulus font. I wish it was monospaced. And what I could do is the following. So I have it. Where was it? Draw. Render info is the method. So let's look here. Render info. I'm going to pull this up here just so we have it. Pulled up. So render info, I wrote these sort of, I wanted to get the size of this text area when it was done. So that's an important step here. But what I can do is I can add in a render controls. So right now we render info and we have these write lines that go through and write this. What I could do is I could write, it shouldn't be that hard, public render, let's do a private void render buttons, int x, int y, like this. And this will just do the first part of these. This is going to do just the first part of these. Okay. And we do just these parts. So I'm gonna have it just do this. Okay. So these will be lined up. I mean, the left side will be lined up fine. And then the right side, I'm going to shift. I need to do the draw title as well here. So that the title, so we'll have to pass the game state through here. Game state. So we'll do here, before we do anything, I'm going to call render, buttons is not the right word, but we'll go with it for now. X, Y, game state. And this isn't maybe what we want. I'm not sure. Let's have this return a vector 2 as well. Yes, this is going to be the correct thing to do because it's going to get us back the width and height of the text rendered so far. But we really only care about the width and text of this, the width of that. So I'm going to put this back down here. Draw title. Draw title is going to go first. Once we have the buttons here, I'm not quite ready yet. If I do this, hang on. If I do this, this will return the width and height. So I want to get the width of this thing. So vector to size. So this is the size of the render buttons. And I need to have the new left for this is going to need to line up here. So the left of this needs to be the right of this plus a little bit. So the new left equals size dot x plus, we'll go with, what did I set the spacing to? Plus spacing. So I have a little bit spacing. So the left return and left become this value. So I've set it up, these right lines, I've set it up in a way that when I do a right line, it moves. I have this like imaginary cursor that I'm using, and it's gonna move that back over to the left here. The issue is I need to go back up to the top. My draw title is gonna be not quite right as well. What does draw title do? Let's look at draw title just to make sure that's true. Draw title. Yeah, draw title is doing some right lines as well. So I'm going to need to figure out where the bottom of this is. Alternatively, I could just do a right line here. I believe, okay, I think we might be able to do this. Start top like this. Top equals y. If I just do a right line with a string.empty, this should move the cursor down. Let's see if this did it. Let's see if this did it. I think we're getting close here. Redmer, welcome back to the stream. How you doing, friend? I hope you're having a beautiful day. We are in the process of refactoring our chess puzzler to line up for Smab here. Smab, let's see how we did. Thank you for it is a fancy mug. We did terrible. We did terrible, but that's okay. That's okay. Because our left, they were lined up. They weren't lined up, but our left should be our X plus. We got to start X plus this. Redmer, thank you for the 888. Congratulations. Thank you for reading. Thank you for reading. Points. That did not work out well. Points. Add Redmer 888. There you go, friend. There you go, friend. So notice our WASD didn't get pushed down properly, and I'm not sure why. See, draw title, render buttons. This here. I didn't want to do this. So our top doesn't need to get reset, but just our left needed to get reset. Just our left needed to get reset here. All right, let's try that. Close enough, Smab says. Close enough. There we go. Now those line up. Look how wide that is. Look how wide that is. I hate that so much. I hate that so much. So those line up. Good enough. Close enough. Redmer, how's your project coming along? Any updates for us? Okay. And right needs to also be left here. Well, no, the right shouldn't change. It's not giving us the correct left. It is fairly descriptive. You'd be surprised, Smab. A lot of my students don't know quite what WASD means, but I think what I can do is I can get rid of this part. I can just do WASD without the slashes, and that'll shrink down the space so it fits in there nicely like that. So I think I'll do that. I could potentially get rid of these dashes as well. Maybe make those colons. Do we think the colon, or we just get rid of them? What do we think about that? We're gonna UI, CSS, man. Yeah, CSS can be a struggle for sure. Okay, that's not as bad. That's not as bad. And so now we want to, in our width here, we need to add in the size.x plus this, I believe, is what we want, plus a 10, I believe. But let's find out. There we go. How's that feel? How do you feel, Smab? Smab, are you happy? It automates a lot of stuff for you. Let's see. CS isn't it? Have you tried Tailwind? I've heard good things about Tailwind. I've heard mixed things about Tailwind, if I'm being completely honest. Do we need a dash between them? Do we need the dash between them is my question. Which one looks better? Which I should have taken a screenshot. Let's see here. Mab says no to the dash. All right, let's take a screenshot. Let's get it. Let's see which one looks better. Let's do a side-by-side compare. Let's do a side-by-side compare here real quick. So we got that one. That one, or which one looks better, folks? Which one looks better? Left or right? Left or right? Which one do we want? Left. Left looks better. Gotcha. I agree. I agree. Both is either is fine. Yeah. I do think the left is better. I think I want to change it a little bit. So move, select, next, previous, reset, cheat. I'm going to get rid of the word puzzle here. I'm going to shorten these down, I think, a little bit. All right. No, I didn't want to save you. Stop it. All right. We'll get rid of next. We'll just call this select. We'll call this move. Exactly, Smab. It lines up nicely in the brain. I agree with that. I like it. This came out pretty good. Oh no. Now I don't have the, now this is not long enough. Hang on. Why? Right. The title here, it's resetting our, why is right getting reset here? Draw title. We need the maximum of the title or those things. Oh, one sec. Let's also make sure our cheat button still works properly. Cheat needs to be shifted over. So cheat is getting lined up in a weird way now. We'll call this. I guess I can put just here rather than doing left. It's getting so tricky. It's getting so tricky here. Left equals left return equals X. Now we run into some craziness where things are going to get rendered very oddly when we cheat. No, it renders fine. Okay. Left return still isn't going to the right spot. Left equals X. I'm not doing a right line, which is interesting here. There we go. There we go. But now we have it. It's like extra long. So now it's adding in some extra stuff. Cheat doesn't line up. Need to line up. Better if it doesn't. Do you mean the results of cheating? I kind of want to put it below here, but this, the way I have it set up here is I have this as a sort of a component. And then this as a component. I do think it would be better down there. Better if it doesn't is what you're saying. That's interesting. So it stands out. So you think it looks better like this? I think it looks better if it's tabbed over in this interesting way. Interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Cheated. You can put cheated down there. Cheated. Now the number doesn't necessarily make sense. cheated, and maybe we don't put the difficulty. I'm okay with it being printed like that. I like it. I like it. The one thing that's missing is this is now the longest thing out of these. So we need to save. After we draw a title, we can say, I'm just confused as to what's going on with write. Shouldn't write, after I do a draw title, these should update right. Left, hang on. I need to make left return. I think I know what's going on. I don't think I need to change left here. Just left return. Yeah, left return says when I do a new line, what position do I return to? So left return is the only thing. I don't need to actually update left here. This should fix that issue. And then I don't think I need to have size X here. Math is hard, people. Nope, that made things worse. Why? Right should be, oh, and then this should just be left. This should just be left. Why is the width not working? I have right. This should be the furthest right anything was ever printed. Left should be, I guess I could do X. Left is doing something weird. It must be related to not putting it here. X is actually the leftmost point. I don't understand why right is not taking this value, the width here of this text. I'm trying to understand that little bit here. Trying to understand that bit. I have, let's call this render controls text size. So this is the size of the controlled text. I'm clearly not including my draw title here. Right minus X. This should be our starting position. I'm just confused as why right. This is where it is. This is where it is. This should just be X minus left return. Okay. There it is. It was getting botched there, I believe. There we go. Nope, that still messes it up. Why? This could still be... Oh, X is our right. We can still do right here. It should be... No, it's not going to be the widest. It's frustrating here. Hero Fox, welcome back. I'm sorry you didn't get a notification. That's a, you know, who knows what happened? Who knows what happened with that? Okay, so our right... I want it to be... This could be minus X. Because we want the furthest position to the right. This is going to be... I believe... This is interesting. Yeah, it's the right of this unsolved thing currently. This is where state gets complex. Hero Fox, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the first. Congratulations on your number 7. Congratulations on your number 7. We want this to be the furthest distance of one of these. So there's potential. I could potentially do this in a much smarter way. The problem is this right. I want to reset right without resetting right. So let's do this. Right. Here we go. Here we go. Float right orig equals right. Right equals x. This is dumb. New right. Try to do it right. No, Smab. The funny thing is, the funny thing about this, Smab, is I saw this exact problem. I was like, oh, that's really annoying. Oh, well, no one will notice. And then you notice, so here I am going, okay, we got to fix this. Because if you notice it, that means all of my students are going to notice it. And it's not something that I want. Here we go. Now we're going to reset right equals right original. And then we do new right. Let me go back to the previous version. We are aligning this text here. So this font is not monospaced. And so this text wasn't aligned here. Just text alignment. This text was all jagged throughout. So I just wanted to align here. So we've done an alignment here. Right now, if I cheat, it makes the screen wider, which is fine. It's fine. Perfect. Perfect. And what I might do is I might say difficulty equals. I'm going to move. All right. Let's do the following. We're going to do a right line. We're going to do a right line. We are going to set left equal to 10. This is a magic number. This is a magic number here. And I believe this will put it all the way right, left equals this, left return equals 10. There we go. So it'll actually put it down there on the bottom, which is what I really want. It's what I really want. Grid Paper Games, welcome back to the stream. So great to see you here. Kuwani, thank you for the here. Congratulations on your bonus points. There we go. There we go. So if you press Y to cheat, it'll give you a solution and it'll put it under the board rather than over there on the right side, which is what I want. It does a little bit of a weirdness. But I feel like I'm okay with that. Yeah, Smab, that's what we're working on today. We're working on it. Okay, so really quite happy with the chess puzzler we've done here. I am in love with raylibc. The one thing, just cloning the repo. Thank you, Smab. I haven't done a commit yet. Smab, do you want me to do a commit first? This looks cool. Yeah, so we've done this a couple different ways, Grid Paper Games. So this is a chess puzzle game that works a little bit different than traditional chess. In this chess game, the moves you can make, I'll do a commit real quick. Let's commit this. Git status. Commit -m feat chore. This is a chore, Smab. Chore. Align control text. There we go. Yeah, it still fits on the screen, so it resizes based on the text. So let's check it out, G. So here is our puzzle game. The way this puzzle game works, Grid Paper Games, is the pieces move like traditional chess pieces, but every move you have to move into you have to capture a piece. So for example, if I try to move this rook to this position here, I just tried to move from here to here. Why didn't it let me draw now? From here to here. This is not a valid move because I don't capture a piece. Every move must capture a piece. So if I move here, I capture a piece. If I move here, I capture a piece. Now I have no moves left. I have not solved this puzzle because there's more than one piece remaining. We need to get exactly one piece remaining here. So let's reset the puzzle. The solution to this puzzle is to capture everything with a pawn. Notice, G, the window scale resized here when it went to the word solved. And so I don't necessarily like that. As we get bigger, Yeah, all the colors are all pieces have the same color. All pieces have the same color here. You'll notice that the window kind of slightly resizes here, which is a little bit interesting. So Hero Fox, we actually didn't do that much on stream. This library is so simple, and we got a lot of the chess stuff working. Ooh, Kuwani, that's interesting. A variation of this game can be found here, but a piece can only capture twice. That is really cool. Wait, are these generated puzzles? These puzzles were not generated. These puzzles are borrowed from a game I happen to have. We are going to write a generator for these pretty soon. Today, what I'm doing is I'm going to turn this into a Unity game. I'm going to turn it into a Unity game. Lux, welcome back to the stream. So check it out. We actually made this we started making it as a console game. Check it out. So we made it as a console game. All right, so we made a console version of it. So it's the exact same game, but you can play it in the terminal. Okay, so it's the exact same game, but runs in the terminal. And so this is an exercise for my students. This is I did it wrong. Hang on, let's restart this one. This is an exercise for my students to talk about model view controller. We're gonna do a web-based version one. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do one in Godot as well. Because it's so simple. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's look at the differences between these projects. Let's look at the difference here. I'm gonna do it. Did I do a commit? Yeah, so I added a library version of it. So let's check it out. There are, the console version is just 100 lines of code essentially if you drop out all this stuff. So here's the console version. It says create a game state. This is a library we did to say, here's our model. This is our game model. This is the controller for our game, and this is the view for our game. So to take this game and port it to a different engine, all you have to do is write a controller and a view. The model is done. The model is done. So this is going to be the exercise for my students. We have a model that works. I might have them implement the model. We're going to do Unity next. Yeah, Dram. So we have a model over here. So here's the model. All right. So the model has a cursor position. What is selected? Have you ever acted a game play out to its own? I did, Smab. So I have game state here. So I have the headless version of the game. I have a headless version of the game where all the moves can be completed. In Unity, when we're handling mouse clicks, I might change this to select and take in a cursor position. Right now, it just has handle select, which uses the existing cursor position. But yeah, I have abstracted it out. So the Raylib version was really easy to write. So look at the similarities. Here's the console controller. It says, given a key, do these things. The Raylib game controller is almost identical, except it uses the Raylib's library for reading user input. For drag and drop, it would work as well. So drag and drop, you could still do it. You just have to figure out how to make the cursor select between two positions with drag and drop, Smab. So I thought about that. I think I am going to rewrite this headless version to have, instead of having this, we do public void select, and this takes in a position int rank char file. So this would be a little bit better, I believe, than this, and then I'd have to do a little bit refactoring on our controllers. I'm gonna see if you wanted to do drag and drop, all you would do is you would call the order in which you call things on the game state. So you would click a spot, and then that you'd have to manually track that, or when you click and you start the drag, you set the cursor position, and then when you and call handle select, and then when you release, you just call handle select on the release and set the cursor position to where you released it. So I'm pretty sure you could do it without this one here. Handle select says handle based on the current cursor position. Yeah, I'm having such a great time with this as well, Grid Paper Games. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you're enjoying it here. All right, let's double check some. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Okay. I just started out on my first turn-based game. Looking forward to see how you'll bring it to Unity. Let's check it out. What would make it better here, Fox? There's many things that'll make it better. Let's see what will make it better. Let's hear what will make it better. Hats. Hero Fox, Hero Fox, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat in here. Boom. Thank you for the hat redeem. I appreciate it. All right, let's hop into Unity. I created an empty project here. I should really add in a script or make it so that way when I build this, my library, so the headless version and the logic version here, those DLLs need to get added into my chess puzzler. My chess puzzler here in my assets. I'm gonna make a new folder here called libraries or dependencies, I'm not sure, but we'll call it chess puzzler.dependencies. Okay, chess puzzler.dependencies. Let me build this .NET build. What I really should do is make it so when I build, it automatically moves these files over, but I'm gonna move them there by hand. So they compile, the trick here is that they must compile as net standard 2.1 to work in Unity. So we can take these DLLs here, and if we take these PDBs, it gives us a bunch of extra information, but we take these files here, and we're gonna drop those into our Unity project. Murray02, great question, asked, any good books related to algorithms and data structures? I have two common recommendations that I give. Let me open up Unity so it can add these in. That was, okay, those are the meta files. Unity's loading here. Well, that's loading. I'm gonna talk about, I have two books. Bear with me. I'm gonna grab them both. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Whoa.
Proton Fig with the raid. Thank you so much for the raid, Proton. How was your stream? What were you working on? Welcome aboard, folks. You guys don't know the incredible Proton Fig. You got to give him some love. Making amazing Commodore 64, working on some Amiga stuff right now. Go check him out. You're not going to want to miss it. Proton, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Okay, so here are the two books. User flavored name. Oh, user flavored name. Thank you for being here. Poostak, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's add a hat here. Grid Pair says, I would have given a kidney to have you as my computer science teacher. Look, you need that kidney. You don't want to lose a kidney. Grid Paper Games, I'm so glad to have you here. All right, so the two books, the book that I personally love for data structures and algorithms is this book called Introduction to Algorithms. A lot of people hate this book. This is the book that I use to learn from. It's a little bit, I would say people find it slightly obnoxious because they often, they use words in it like, obviously, it's this, it should, it's a very math heavy book. It's dry. There you go, Smap. It's dry. What I will say is if you use this book, I have a notebook full, maybe I'll bust it out someday. I have a notebook full of pretty much not all the solutions from the third edition of this book from when I was going through it. I love this book. It's pretty dry, math heavy. The other book that I will recommend for data structures and algorithms, it's the classic book. You're going to use it if you end up in university. The other book, this one's a little bit, my students report it's easier to consume. It's shorter, it doesn't cover as much, but it can get you going at Algorithm and Design. John Kleinberg, Eva Tardos. I really liked this book as well. I've used this with a lot of my students. User flavored name. Thank you for the follow. User flavored name. You're so delicious, my friend. It's flavored so good. User flavored name. Thank you for following me. User flavored name, thank you for the follow. Happy to have you here. Let's check out what was Proton working on. Thank you for the link. Let's check it out. I find it to be a very approachable book. So the first one was Introduction to Algorithms. This is the classic book. It's a little bit spicy on that price. They have a fourth edition now. We're gonna take a look at your video. Hang on, Smeb. Sorry, so Proton, we're gonna take a look at it. Okay, so this book is the classic data structure and algorithm books. You will almost certainly use this if you end up in university. And if you Google hard enough, you might be able to find it for a better price than this. You might be able to find a digital version for a better price if you Google hard enough. Okay. And then the other one was Tardos data structures algorithm. I really like Eva Tardos. This book just might not be in print anymore. This one here, it looks like this book is out of print. It's pretty old. Never mind. Don't use this book. I use this book with my students. Looks like it might be out of print. Any other suggestions, feel free to drop them in. Princeton algorithms course. This is the course that I always tell. This is a free course you can sign up for. I think this course is fabulous. It is in Java, so a lot of people don't like that, but it shouldn't matter. The language doesn't matter. This is a free course you can take online that is really good, and lots of people are taking it at the same time, so it tends to be really quite well. Mary Cat, welcome back to the stream. Happy to see you. It's great to have you here. So I hope that answers your question a little bit. Sorry for such a divergent there, Murray02. I hope that is helpful. That algorithms course I think is fantastic. Okay, Proton, let's take a look at what you were working on. Demo coding in Amiga. Proton was working on the Amiga coding here. This is, you were working on maybe we'll talk about that. Very cool. So you are working on, this is awesome. This is coding in Amiga, doing some, what I'm assuming is 3D rendering projection stuff with this. The music is nice too. Proton always has the best chiptune music. Proton, thank you so much for sharing this. This looks cool. Awesome. Very nice. Thank you for sharing. All right, folks, we are working on the chess puzzler here. It's going to give us some issues, I believe. Hang on. Position does not contain a definition for relative. Okay, so it's something I'm realizing right now is these don't have namespaces on them. I need to add namespaces to these. Hang on. So there's a little bit of an annoyance here. That's a good question, Smab. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the real deal, but my guess is that it is. We need to add these to namespace. Your Proton's using an emulator to make it easy to use. Captain. We're gonna just call it Chess Puzzler. Here, Chess Puzzler. Let's add all this stuff to the Chess Puzzler. Namespace. All right, major, what I'd consider a relatively major refactor here. I could also add this. There's a way to do like a project namespace, but I can never quite remember how to do it. But developing is easier with the emulator. Yeah, that was what I was thinking would be the case. And then we're gonna say, we can just add these to this namespace, I believe, and it should be happy to do it using Chess Puzzler. Using Chess Puzzler. Is it possible to add this in the SMAB? That's exactly what I said. We could just add this in the CS Proj. Would probably be the easiest way to do it. That would have been the easier, smarter, better way to do this. But as we know, Captain Coder doesn't always do things the easy, smarter, better way. We often do things the harder, more painful way. Could not be found. Chess piece could not be found. Piece. Chess piece. Interesting. Board renderer. Are you missing .NET build? I think it's the explicitness is better. I think the explicitness is better, so you're not going like, where the heck is this thing coming from? $318 errors. Position. I am super confused. Global usings file. I don't quite understand which. Now let's come straight into our Raylib project here. .NET build. Surprised this one's working. Chess Piece. The typer namespace game state. So that's just then what I get. This is very odd to me. Close all of this. Hang on. I never hit save, maybe? Let's try now. Is it because I didn't hit save? Okay, I hadn't hit save on something. That would do it. Okay, our tests are also having an issue. In tests, let's add in a global usings. There we go. All right, let's do a build. This is where if I have to make changes to this, it becomes a slightly painful process to get into Unity because I have to delete this stuff and then re-add it. Is it going to automatically assign space names or any size board generated? Is it going to automatically assign space names for any size board generated? So it does every piece. I don't quite understand the question, but the board can have arbitrary size between 2 and 26. So arbitrary is not quite the right size, but a board can be a 2x2 grid up to a 26x26 grid. And when you do that, it knows the position names and ranks and files of that board size. I hope that makes sense, Mary Cat. Feel free to ask again. I don't know if I'm understanding your question completely. So in our build here, we want to move these things over. So I know there's a way to do this, so I don't have to do this code every time. Captain Coder Chess Puzzler headless. Bin. For now, it's debug. Net standard 2.1. And I want to copy everything here to our Unity project. Assets depend, what do I call the folder? Chess Puzzle dependencies. And it should update those. Hopefully this will fix the namespace issue I was getting in Unity when it recompiles here. Yeah, exactly, Smab. That's what I was thinking I needed to do, is make it so that I do a publish. It'll do it. Script is the cheap way for me to do it. And this is the worst possible way for me to do it, but I think doing a publish is the best way to do it. All right, so that fixed all of the errors I was getting with namespace, and it's colliding with position. Smab, would you add the publish to this solution, or would you add it to this solution? Really, the Unity chess puzzler is the thing that depends on it. So this thing doesn't care. So a script might be the best way to do it, because this headless thing actually doesn't care whether or not Unity puzzler has it. So a script might actually be the best quote unquote solution. I'm not sure if that's true. I'm gonna do a build sh for now, and this is gonna do .NET build. So we'll do a .NET build, and we'll do a copy here, where we take that and we move it from here to there. Let's try that, bash build. So it should do a build, and then it should copy those files over. They were the same files, but I think it's okay. And to think this started because of a board game reveal of Solitaire Chess, it's true. Captain Enosa did the board game reveal. I was trying to come up with a project for my students. To do, and I was going, you know what? I've been wanting to do this one for a long time. There's actually video of me like a year ago. Let's go to YouTube archive. Go to the YouTube archive here. I'm pretty sure if we go to live and we go back super far, can we go all the way to like a year ago? There's a lot, man. We got a lot of these now. So check this out. So look at this. Writing a chess puzzle game part 1, 2, and 3. I ended up not finishing it, but this was back when I was learning, first using C#. I wanted to do this back then. And then I just got distracted by some other stuff. Edward Us. Is it Edward Us? Ed double D. Edward Us. Edward Us. Followed me. We've got Edward Us following me. Edward Us, thank you for the follow. Edward Us, thank you for the follow. Happy Monday, my friend. I hope you're having a beautiful day. But yeah, I've been wanting to do this for like a year, and I just kept not doing it. And I honestly feel like my C# skills were not quite ready for it. And I feel like I've grown so much with my C# programming, with my Unity program, with my game development. I hadn't done a lot of game development. Proton, you followed me again today. We got Proton, following the Captain Coder. Proton, welcome aboard and thank you for following me today. We got Proton following, and I'd like to say thank you. BK Dev, thank you for reading the tags there. 888 points to you, my friend. Congratulations. But yeah, we've been doing a lot of stuff. BK said, you've only been using it for a year. Yeah, I've been using C# for 3 years. I think about 3 years at this point. I've only been using Unity kind of for a year. But one of the first things I streamed was refactoring a chess program, and I was going like, I want to make the solitaire chess game. A 666. That's the number. That's the number of the yeast, my friend. Thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat added to the stack here. Thank you for the hat redeem. Boom. Get one going. Hero Fox, it's true. Dramulx is a member of this crew. So, oh boy. All right, so we have this in here. Let's make it. Little Nya, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's add a hat to the stack. Here we go. We got fedora on top. A fedora on top. Thank you for the hat, Redeem. How's it going, my friend? I hope you're having a beautiful day. We are in the process here. I haven't used Unity in a while to do much. We are going to change this. Here comes the vibes. We are working on our chess puzzler. We're going to turn it into a Unity game now. Proton, thank you for the hat, Redeem. Let's get a hat added to the stack here. Boom. There it is. Boom. There, is that how that song goes? Boom. There it is. Those are definitely the lyrics. Definitely the lyrics. Good vibes. Thank you for the hat, Redeem. Going for it. We're getting that hat stack attack. Hat overflow income and come for the hat stack attack. The hat train. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. 500 points. We can get it. Grid Paper Games. Thank you for the hat, Redeem. Thank you for the hat, Redeem. Let's get a hat added to the stack here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Proton. Nice try. Nice try. I gotta have to wait. What a hat trick. It's true. It's what a hat trick. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hats deep. 7 hats deep. I need to add in a thing so I can hear a little chime because sometimes I miss it and have a little counter of how many hats we're supposed to have on here. We're going to rename this theme Chess Puzzle. Or like this. All right, question, folks. I'm sorry you're not doing well today. Little Nya, I hope you feel well soon. I hope it's a minor sickness, but I hope it gets better soon. Ill's the worst enemy, absolutely. I hope you feel better soon. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it's nothing serious. Let's add in. So the idea here is we just need I'm gonna make them buttons. I'm gonna make them buttons that have images on them. Either that, we can make them where they're images that you click as well. But I'm gonna just make them buttons here. We'll import this to make it simple, and then we're gonna slap some images on them. Buttons here. This is gonna require me to add in. Look at that button. Look at that there button. Being sick is rough. I get sick a few times a year. People have said they're surprised how often I get sick. But let's create a UI element. This is going to just be, we're just going to create our grid here. Create a grid here. Grid. We'll slap our button in there like this. Check this out. Here's the coolest part about the grid. Grid layout. Grid layout group. We just say how many cells do we want? How many cells do we want? Is that right? Cell size. Our cell size, let's go with 52 by 52. Spacing 10, spacing 10. Don't we get to say how many things are in there? Let's just duplicate this button. Grid. 52 by 52. I guess this automatically, this is interesting. We'll have to do some math here to make this work, but I'm gonna have this line up in the top left corner. Hang on, wrong buttons. Top left. And then we're gonna move it 20 pixels in, 20 pixels down. And the size of these buttons, this grid needs to get resized based on our game state. So let's create an empty, we're gonna call this puzzle controller. And this is where we're gonna put our controls for our puzzle. Let's create a new folder here. Create a folder here called scripts. And we are going to create a C# script called a puzzle controller, like this. And the puzzle controller is gonna be connected to this thing here. It's gonna have a puzzle. We'll get it load in a puzzle by default just so we can do some testing. Puzzle controller. See, did I connect this to Visual Studio Code yet? I did. Let's see. Sometimes things get a little bit wily with it. Let's go! Profits, I'm glad you're here, my friend. Do we want the Unity extension? Probably. I uninstalled it at some point, it looks like. We don't need, this is interesting. An exception occurred. That's always good when you go to install something and an exception happens, but we'll find out real quick if it's gonna work here. So our puzzle controller, it needs a reference to our public grid layout. Grid. Okay, so we're going to attach that. So with an online class, the kids never get inclement weather days off. It's true, they don't get any days off, which is interesting, right? We actually had a whole conversation about that with the students saying, hey, we're in in-person school, sometimes you get a snow day. What do you guys think of that? The students at my school are so awesome. They often will say things like, no, I love school. Friday is their favorite day of the week. Friday's like the extracurricular day. Code Red Games, welcome back to the stream, my friend. So a lot of schools will have after school or before school programs. At the school I work at, all of the extracurriculars, it's academic classes Monday through Thursday. On Thursday afternoon, we have clubs. And then Friday, the entire day on Friday is like extracurricular fun, what I call fun classes. Gridpair says, hey boys, I'm making a deck builder game in Unity. Very cool. Do you think the card should be UI elements or 2D game objects? Thanks. Grid Paper, I actually found that making them UI elements was incredibly painful, and I wish I had made them using UI elements. If you want to check out Poorly Drawn Card Game, Jern Jam 2 is what I think, Jern Jam 2. I made a deck building game. It's super unintuitive and hard to play. I wish I had made them game objects. I made them canvas elements, and that, in my opinion, that was a mistake. But if you want to check it out there, the plan is to turn it into a full game. I'm very excited about it. All right, so we're going to connect our grid here this way. Apparently, that's not the right thing. Grid layout group. Grid layout group is what we want here. We're gonna connect that. And if I miss something in the chat, feel free to at me. I often get distracted a little bit. Are hard to work with if you have a lot. If you need them to connect and interact with things, I personally wish I had done it differently because I was forced to use Canvas for everything, and I really wanted them to be more like mono behaviors at the end of the day. So I wish I had done it different. So we have a puzzle controller here. Inside of this puzzle controller, I want to be able to load in these text files. So one thing we have to do here is we're gonna have to create a folder called puzzles like this, and we're gonna move our puzzles into this folder. We're gonna clone these puzzles in. So we have all of these puzzles. I'm just gonna copy this whole folder. One second. Copy puzzles to puzzle star to Unity assets puzzles. We're gonna copy our puzzles in like that. So that it's interesting if I have things that are popping up and I want on the HUD, like overlaying on top. So the problem I ran into is I often wanted things to be overlaid. I didn't have enough space, so I was having to scale things. I would rather have the camera be fixed and orthographic and be able to move the camera around easily rather than having to have the canvas move things around. That was the biggest part of it. So I would say think of your UI. Think of your UI as you want dialogues on the UI, you want buttons on the UI, but things that are part of the actual game state probably shouldn't be. Smab, that's probably true. That's probably true. That I think that makes sense. What I want to be able to do here is with my puzzle controller. What's interesting, let's minimize that. I have the wrong one open here. What I'm wanting to do is have public text file, just like a text asset. Where I want to get this just to start out. Default puzzle, maybe. Hang on. Here's what I need to do first, actually. Using chess puzzler. This thing needs to have a reference to a chess puzzle. This thing needs to have a reference to a chess puzzle. Void awake puzzle. Here, puzzle equals new. So there's going to be an issue here. There's going to be a major issue here with this because my puzzle, we give it an ID, right? So if I look at this code here, this is going to look for the puzzles. Not here. Hang on. It's the game. What did I call it? Game state. This specifically, this thing here, this has our puzzle path kind of hard coded into it here. So I need a way to change this root folder or something to make it work with Unity, because it's loading it from this, and we can't have that, I think. So putting those into a class rather than external files actually might make a lot of sense. Good Vibe says, hey, Captain of the Sea, I need help because my code, I only jump one time and it stops and doesn't jump. Any help, or can a Discord script, if anything? Send something on the Discord. I'm sure someone there can help. Something that you might look into. I have a video for doing, if this is in Unity, I have a platformer playlist that you can check it out, and it might help you to solve that problem. We do ground your players with ray casting. So this video here will actually talk about using ray casting for jumping. So previously we used force mode to add, we get our player jumping in the previous video, but the player can do an infinite jump. Ray casting, we use ray casting to make sure we know when the player's on the ground, and then we optimize it in the next video. So I would say maybe check this video out, see how it goes. That might be what you want to do. So I do have an issue here in that I need to be able to load in these puzzles. I'd like to load them as a text file. They are part of... I like being able to load them from files here. Making them explicitly part of a class would make this a lot simpler. Grid Paper Games, that's where I went as well, and then I ended up regretting it because when I went at the end of the day, when I wanted to do cool animations and tweens and more stuff, the canvas started to get in the way. So we kind of need to specify. It's interesting because there's this idea of a data source now that I need to be able to do this the way I would like to. Our game state here has this as an ID. I kind of want to be able to inject. No. No, there isn't. There isn't, but I wanted to start doing interesting things. So for example, let me show you real quick. Let's get distracted just for a second here. Captain Coder, if we go look at the poorly assembled deck builder. In this game, let me show you the things that became painful. The things that became painful. Let's play this. So this is canvas elements. It's fine so far, but notice this isn't, I ended up wanting the cards to look like they were sort of offset, off kilter, not perfectly lined up. And that started becoming more difficult because now it's like suddenly I don't actually want the auto things. It was nice initially, but suddenly I'm wanting to do like funny things, make things a little bit different. You'll notice when a monster comes out, it's like they end up in slightly different spots. So there was a bunch of stuff that ended up, whereas for these, this is UI. This is great for doing the UI because these I want to automate the positions. I would just say be careful because I'm not sure that that's actually at the end of the day. If you decide, okay, well now I want to customize it, the Unity UI stuff is much harder to do interesting, cool things with where it's outside of your layout. I think the UI tools are great when you're doing buttons. When you have this sort of dialogue pocket popping up, that's great. But for your actual game space, it became painful because now I had to like rescale, resize, do a bunch of stuff with it, which was annoying. It's fine. It's fine. You can do what works for you. I think it's great for doing the overlays. I need to be able to pass in a set of puzzles to this here. So I'm going to create a class called iPuzzle Library. Public enter and add this to our namespace. So I need this to be something that Unity's needs to work differently because our puzzle library, we have sort of like a file reader version. Unity is going to have to work differently, so I'm going to have to make this in public interface iPuzzle Library. And the way the iPuzzle Library works, I want to be able to substitute it in for getting this ID. Basically, it's going to say public puzzle load puzzle int ID. This is what the library does. Given an ID, loads in the puzzle with that ID. Grid Paper Games, I hope that's true. I hope I did just save you a bunch of time because at the end is during a game jam. I couldn't go back and do it and I regretted it. Yeah, I'm glad you like the guides that I have there on YouTube. I need to do more. It just takes so much time to put them together. So I'm hoping, I said this last year too, I'm hoping to do more. I only released the one project last year. I'm hoping to do more. I'm glad you learned a lot. They just take a lot of time to put together. Those 10-minute videos take me like 2 to 3 hours to produce, and it's a lot of work compared to when I write stuff. It feels, I don't know, maybe writing stuff takes a similar amount of time, but it just feels easier to modify and maintain. The videos are really hard to modify and maintain. So our basic puzzle library here, so we'll create a file puzzle library. Here, this is a default one in the file puzzle library. The file puzzle library, public class file puzzle library. File system puzzle library is probably what I should call this, but it's an iPuzzle library. We're gonna call this file system puzzle library. So this is when it reads off the file system. And I'm just going to make it do this. This is essentially gonna take these two things, put them in here. And we're gonna do a little bit of dependency injection. We're gonna do a little bit of dependency injection here. Public puzzle. And this one will still be private. And we're gonna have a private string base path. Let's actually make this public. Call it base path. And we're gonna do a public file system puzzle library here. String base path. And this is just gonna set our base path when we initialize here. and we'll substitute that in here, base path, like so. And then we pull up the file this way. So we're gonna use this as our default one, so it shouldn't break any of our Raylib version or our console version when we're with it, but we should be able to substitute it in. When we use Unity, it needs to be loading it from the assets, the internal assets. So we have to change this in Unity. So we're gonna add in a dependency here where we're gonna set it up where we can say there's an iPuzzle library that we can pass in here. Sleazy New York, is it Sleaze NY or Sleazney? Sleazney, I'm gonna go with Sleazney. Sleazney, oh Sleazney, thank you for following me today. We got Sleazney, yeah Sleazney, following the academy. Oh Sleazney, you're here, and I'd like to say welcome aboard, welcome to the family. Oh Sleazney, thank you for following me. Sleazney, happy Monday, hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome to the crew. Well, yeah, you gotta wait just a little bit, Actually, it's like you gotta wait till tomorrow. So I might want to, I think I might reduce it. So it's once there's like I need to have maybe a reset on the hat. Or make it the hats exponentially cost more. It's a lot of hats. People trying to get me with that hat overflow attack. Congratulations on your bonus points, Lil Nia. People trying to get me with that hat overflow attack. But we're almost there. Okay. So I want this to substitute in our puzzle library here. And I could make it so you could do a get and a set on it. So I might do this. Public iPuzzle library. So you can swap it in and out. Get set like this. So you can push in a puzzle library this way. And by default, what we'll do, we'll just say that the puzzle library, we can set it up here as well. The default puzzle library, wrong spot, is going to be a new file system puzzle library. And the base path is puzzles, like this. So this is the default one, and we'll have to adjust it here. Drevst, welcome back to the stream. How you doing, friend? And Bullseye, I don't know if I said welcome back, but it's great to have you here again. Happy day. And then our current puzzle, no, we have to pass it in. We're gonna have to accept it here as an argument. Puzzle library. It's gonna be equal to our puzzle library, but we can create a default one. I'm gonna make this private on the set side. We're gonna make a default constructor, game state int ID, where this just becomes base ID, new file system puzzle library. Is this how we do this? Is it this? How do we? And then the base path is puzzles like this. What you working on today, Bullseye? Let's take a look at it real quick. Is it base? How do I call the... Oh, I think I need to have this be empty. This. There we go. It still ends up calling this other constructor, but does nothing extra. Bullseye, great criticism. Said new to the original constructor as that makes it option. Add new to the original. I don't think it'll let me do this. It needs to be a constant. It needs to be a constant in here. It won't let me actually do this as a default here because file system puzzle library is not a constant. Bullseye, we are working on a chess puzzle game. Smab, I could be wrong there. You probably are telling me there's something I can do to make that work, and I don't know why. But I can't quite remember it. But Bullseye, let's do .NET build here. we made a puzzle game, a single player chess solitaire puzzle game. We built a library for it. And we've done it in a couple different ways. Make it null and then check in the constructor. Oh, that's a good idea. Smab, I like that. I like that. We're gonna do that. We have this chess puzzle game we did. We made a version of it in Raylib. We made a console version of it. We're doing the version in Unity now. So we have this chess puzzle game, single player chess puzzle game where you have to solve these chess puzzles. I really like that, Smab. Thank you so much for the idea. And so the idea in this, you have to capture all of the pieces. Valid moves are only moves that capture another piece. So every piece, when you make a move, valid moves are those that capture pieces. You can't move this. So for example, this cannot move here. So we're turning it into a Unity game now. So we're exploring, we're sort of trying to fully explore model view controller in some sense. So Smab, I love that idea, equals null by default. And then here we're gonna say if puzzle library is null, then we set it to this. Puzzle library equals this. I love that. Smab says you just have to make sure the optional parameters are at the end of the list. Yeah. Thank you. I knew I was pretty sure we could do something like that. My brain was flubbing on it. So really love it. Even better, Kuani. Puzzle library. We use the null coalescing assignment operator. I should have done a quiz. What is the name of this? What is the name of this operator here? This is the null coalescing assignment operator, like that. And I got it wrong though. This should be puzzle library equals. Hang on, equals puzzle library. This. All right. So I got it wrong. Oh no, I had it right. We do the assignment down here. Let's do it. Hang on. I like puzzle library. I like this better. Puzzle library. All right, this is null coalescing operator. This is the null coalescing operator. No equal sign, so it's just null coalescing. It says if this is not null, use that value. If it is null, use this value. So it's the null coalescing, null coalescing operator. I don't know if that's how we spell that or not. That's okay. There we go. I think we have this. Let's do it in .NET build. Make sure close enough that, look, spelling is definitely not my strong suit. Spelling is not my strong suit. So now we have this thing. The cool thing now is we could write a puzzle library that connects to a database and do a little bit of injection with it. So this still works. So I have some confidence. Let's build bash build. It's gonna move the libraries into Unity. Unity's gonna need to reload here. But now we can write one that is the Unity asset loader. So a Unity asset loader version. It doesn't force you to use the same piece every time. BK asked a question, what does exclamation point mean in C#? You put it next to null. Great question. BK asked a question. BK's question is, why do you do this? Why are you putting this exclamation point here? Why is this exclamation point here? This says, I promise I know what I'm doing. So let's check it out. Let's get rid of it. I have a warning here. And the warning says, cannot convert null literal to non-nullable reference type. It's saying that I didn't say this was nullable. I put a question mark here. Also known as the dang it operator. That's right. The question mark here says this thing could be null. I'm allowed to make this null. This is saying it's not allowed to be null. So if someone passes this argument in, I'm saying you need to give me something. This is saying, well, we're cheating a little bit by saying if you pass something in, it shouldn't be null. But I'm telling the compiler to leave me alone. Yeah, it tells the compiler, hey, pretend it's not null. It's the like ignore operator. I don't know what it's called. What is the name of the exclamation point? Exclamation point C# ignore null. Let's see, what is it called? Null forgiving operator. There it is. The null forgiveness operator. Please forgive my nullness. Would you be so kind to forgive my nullness? Yeah, so it's just to say go away warning. Go away warning. You're welcome. Great question, BK. Thanks for asking. Let's clear out that question. In this case, the question mark is equally correct with no other side effects. Yeah, the question mark would be equally correct here. So maybe I'll, you know, what do we think? I tend to default to the exclamation point saying, hey, don't bother me. Shoofly, don't bother me. I think this is equally correct. It could be null, but you don't expect it to be null. I don't expect it to be null. Exactly. If they put something here, I'm not expecting them to put null. 25 gold. Welcome back to their stream. You would use the question mark? Yeah, I'm not if they use this constructor, I would say I'm expecting them to pass something in. I think both are fine. Let's but we did build this over to our Unity here. So now we can construct this. We'll start with one, and we're gonna create, we need a Unity puzzle. We need a Unity puzzles library. So this would be our new Unity, you know, puzzle library. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a public puzzle puzzle library like this. I'm gonna have something that we set here, and this is gonna be passed in as our argument. I just need to make one of these first. Okay, so rather than our default puzzle, we're gonna do this. Can always make it better or more obscure. So like that's the thing when you have the small things like that, sometimes they end up being a little bit more obscure. So we're gonna create a scriptable object. The red underline is upset because I don't have, it means there's a compiler error, Nia. It's saying that I don't have that thing. I'm like imagining this thing that I have. It's an error. I'm gonna create a puzzle library. Puzzle library. I'm gonna call it a Unity puzzle library because it's our Unity version. This is gonna be a scriptable object that is also implementing the library so I can pass it in. So this is gonna be a scriptable object, public, it's not a monobehavior, it's a scriptable object. And then it is also using chess puzzler. It's gonna be our I puzzle library. Hang on. What's gone wrong here? What did I call it? iPuzzle library. Hang on. This might just need to... Oh, is it saying that I don't implement it? No, iPuzzle library could not be found. Let's try reloading this window. It could be... I made some changes to our DLLs, so there's some I think it just may not have updated. I'm hoping the error I get now is going to say, hey, you are not implementing this. There we go. Now we implement it and say, okay, load puzzle works this way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a public text asset array puzzles. And the way this will work is we do puzzles of id.text. So we take the text from these and we're going to pass it into our puzzle reader. Puzzle reader dot. Let's go look at what it's called. Do I have to construct this? Puzzle reader. Board reader. I called it a board reader. So I have to do split here. We're going to split this into an array. Thank you, Fresh Meat. Welcome back to the stream. And then we have our board reader. Is that right? Our board reader takes in an array. Do I have to construct? No. Dot read. This will get us a board back. Let's go look at my file system. Call this file system puzzle library. And then we turn it into a puzzle. Okay. Return new puzzle like this. So we can actually, I'm actually not sure if this is that simplified, but we're gonna do this. And now our Unity puzzle library, we're gonna make it so it has a set of puzzles. You can hand this off to it. So let's create one of these. We need to add an asset menu. Create asset menu, puzzle library dot puzzle library, and then it's going to be puzzler / puzzle library. Yeah, you can kind of think of, if you know what a lambda is in another programming language, it's kind of like a lambda. It's kind of like a lambda. It's called the body expression. So the thing on the right side, it says return the thing on the right side. Evaluate the expression and return the thing on the right side. It's equivalent of doing this. It's the equivalent of this. For some reason, I like it a little bit better. What am I missing in my asset menu? It takes in, it's not a take a constructor. Man, it's been a while since I used Unity. The position of the menu item within the create asset menu. Oh, create. Is it not? That's crying out to be implemented with chained methods rather than nested methods. Absolutely. Absolutely. I need to write an extension for board. Create asset menu. Hang on, I'm doing. Oh, is it this what's going on? For another day, yeah. Create asset menu. I'm really trying to make things approachable to a what I would consider a second year C# programmer. Why is this not example? Just want to see an example. Menu name. Oh, I have to tell it. Oh, I can't just give it these things. I have to do file name, menu name. There we go. I have to. I didn't specify these names. I thought I could pass them in that way. All right, let us go back to Unity here. Now we should be able to make this library. Since we made a scriptable object, we can add all of our puzzles into it. So create folder library puzzles, capital P puzzles maybe. Why do we still have the hats on? People redeemed them. We wear them until we get to the break and then we deallocate them. Oh, it doesn't like this is named the same thing. All right, hang on. Let's create folder puzzle libraries. Yeah, so the hat redeem, people can redeem the hats. We add them into the stack. So now we can make a puzzle library here. And I should be able to add all of our puzzles in here. So I should be able to do this and load up all of our puzzles into our library. Beautiful, beautiful. So now we have all of our puzzles loaded there in there. When we awake, we have our puzzle library. Is that Unity? Is he Dramulks? We're in Unity. Unity puzzle library. So we're going to specify the library we want. So I should be able to make this game state private. I could make this public. It doesn't matter that much. Private game state puzzle. When we wake up, we're going to initialize this puzzle here using the library. And then we are going to render some stuff. So after we awake, during our start. During start, so awake, we initialize at start. We actually are going to set some things. So we're going to tell our grid to wake up. It's true. It's true. So grid dot cell size, not cell size, we want to add in a bunch of buttons. So we're gonna need a button template here. So we need a template for a button. So I'm gonna create a prefab for that. Man, Unity's complicated. Unity is complex. I wanna do the simple stuff and everything is complicated. Thank you for the frist, Corfless. Thank you for the frist. All right, we're gonna take our button here and we're gonna make this a prefab. We're gonna call this board button like this.
Coder.
Thank you for the math. Congratulations on being number 11, Corfless, being number 11. So our grid, we're gonna load it up with these. We're gonna load it up with these. Can we tell the grid? I really thought we could set fixed column count, fixed column count, fixed row count. There we go. So we can do a fixer. We'll do 4 for now, but this needs to get set based on it. Thank you for the Google goggles. We got eyelash glue for maybe after break. We'll come back with our googly eyes on. Okay. So now if I add these in here, we need our public button. And this would be our board button template. This is our board button prefab is what I might call it, prefab here. And we need to assign that in our puzzle controller. The Google goggles, it's true. Poostack, thank you for the Googles. All right, so we do that. We have a puzzle library that we're gonna add in here. When we load up here, I'm gonna write a method actually called, I just don't think we need anything in update. Public void init board like this. It's going to go through our games. So puzzle, hang on, no, grid. Getting close to our first break, folks. We're going long, actually. Grid dot for each transform child in grid dot in grid. That's going to get all the children dot transform. This gets all of the children inside of this, and we're going to say please die. We're going to ask all the children to destroy themselves. Okay, so in Unity, folks, not in real life. Look, we love the children. We love the children. Say it again, Captain. Say it again. Don't destroy kids in real life. Only destroy kids in Unity. Oh, I shouldn't say kids. Children objects. Children objects. They're not kids. Destroy the children objects. The child object. Uh-oh. 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 Thank you for the hat redeem, JD. Thank you for the hat redeem. We're going to add that to the stack here. Welcome back to the stream, my friend. Just keep digging that hole. Do. We're moving on. All right, so now we want to loop through for each, rather, kids destroy me. For each rank, so int rank in our puzzle, and I should call this game state, dot current puzzle dot board dot ranks. All right, I'm gonna abstract this out here. We're gonna do board equals puzzle. I need to rename that current puzzle dot board. Call this our game state. Killing and reaping children. Yeah, that's what they have. You know, the process demons. The process demons. So we're gonna go through every board. Go through all the ranks. Gabrielle Modog, welcome back to the stream. How you doing, friend? We got a lot of hats. Look, Captain Coder wears lots of hats. People keep wanting more hats. JD, what have you been up to? Tell us about your stream ranks files here. Care file. Like this. We need to create this button here, and the button needs to know what rank and file it is in here. And so the interesting thing is the order is going to be kind of important. We may need to do something special here, but let's create a button. So we're going to do instantiate. I need to create a class for our buttons, actually. Let's create a script. We need to add it to our board button here. It needs to know its position on the board. So we're going to go into our scripts. We're going to create a new object that's going to be a grid button. And the grid button knows its position on the board. That's all I really care about. I want it to know its position on the board. Did Music on Saturday, working on my talk for next month's building the platformer that I'm using to present it. Very cool. Oh, that's right. You're creating. That's so cool. JD is making a presentation in Godot to give a talk about mental health. If you guys want to go see it live, being made on stream live, go check out JD Does Dev. Incredible stuff going on there.
If I could do my
give him some love, folks. Give him some love.
I am not the
Ooh,
captain.
thank you for
but
the
my
teaser.
eyebrows also move in a way like the captain.
JD, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Thank you. Oh, it's not a mental health talk. Sorry, what is the talk about? I'm sorry, I apologize for that. What is the talk about this one? You do give talks on mental health as well, which I think is greatly appreciated. As a person who suffers, has suffered and does suffer from depression, I absolutely appreciate it. It's about how streaming has made me a better developer. Oh, that's awesome. Me too. Me too. It's absolutely made me a better developer. So let's create a public, can't be a position. We're gonna do an int rank get. We'll just do it this way. Unity wants us to do it this way. Public char file. We're gonna construct this thing. We're set the rank and file of it like so. And let's add this to our prefab. I'm running out of time here. I really got to take a break. I'm not actually out of time. I'm running out of time. 2 hours is our cap for not taking a break. Add this to our board here. This should be our grid button. There we go. So it's going to have a rank in a file. What if I don't want to be better? It's okay. It's okay if you don't want to be better. Look, Dram. Nobody's better than you, so it doesn't matter. Nobody's better than you, so it doesn't matter. If you're already the best, there's nowhere to go but down. So don't change a thing, Dram. Don't change a thing. No, I'm kidding. I love you, Dram. A striving for self-improvement is always a good thing in my mind. We want to create a prefab here. I'm sorry. Board button prefab. This is actually a button, a grid button like this. And one last thing, in the grid button, we want to specify that this thing has to be, let's go away. We have too many windows. This grid button, we want to guarantee that require components type of button. This thing has to be a Unity UI button. And we'll add a reference to it, public button get private set. I don't want this to change. And so we are going to say that this is a field, serialized field like this, and public, a private void awake. When this thing wakes up, button equals get component button, like so. Someone wants to undermine competition. I see Poostack. Shh. How dare. Shh. Come on, it's our secret. Poostack. Keep it between us. Napalm codes. Nothing smells as good as napalm codes in the morning. Napalm codes, welcome back to the stream. I love the smell of napalm codes in the morning. All right, let's hop back in here. Cannot move asset puzzle into puzzles. That's okay. All right, so our puzzle controller, we need our prefab button attached to it here. So we've got our grid, we got our puzzle library, we got our board buttons. Here's this our prefab, and the idea, what I want to do now in our puzzle controller, when we init the board, so at start, we're gonna go ahead and init board here. You know, nothing closes mouth better than a pouch of silver at a proper time and place. That's true. It's true. Thank you for the hat redeem, Jormunder. Thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat on here. Oh, we're running out. We're running out of some of the cowboy hats. Running out of cowboy hats. Let's get in here. We got a hat from the National Zoo. Jormunder, good day to you, my friend. Oh, let's get it. We're gonna have to zoom out here. We're gonna have to zoom out a little bit. The hat's getting too tall. Too tall. There we go. There we go. So we're gonna knit our board. We're gonna loop through here. Kuwani with another hat. Let's get another hat on the top of this. Oh boy. Oh boy, it's getting spicy, folks. It's getting spicy. We got another one. I should have put. Here we go. Got another adventure hat. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, yeah. I think we're 11 hats deep. Not bad. Not bad. So, rank and file here. Now I can generate. So we're going to instantiate a grid button. And it's going to take in our board button prefab like this, and we get a grid button. I guess it doesn't need that. That's cool. Made a Flappy Bird clone yesterday as my first Unity game project, having some polishing to do, but it's a game very cool. My students, I'm doing a class called Coding Challenges in Unity. And the project they're doing on Saturday, this Friday, welcome back to the stream, Popcorn. This Friday, they're going to be doing a project that is a Flappy Bird clone. So I'm going to give them some template stuff, and they have to figure out how to do a bunch of the controls. There's going to be bugs written in it. So the coding challenges, they get 1 hour to fix it or implement it. So I'm giving them a bunch of bugs, and they have to do their best to fix it. No one can finish. It's so much that you can't finish in an hour, but every week, we get a bunch of a new puzzle to practice your skills. And a lot of it is like repeating what we've done in the past and implementing new things, or repeating what we've done in the past with a twist to it. Popcorn, welcome back to the stream. You have a strong neck. You'll never tap out to a chokehold. It's true. Back in high school, they called me thick neck. They called me thick neck because of all my hats. I'd walk around throwing hats out to people. They called me the thick neck. Popcorn, how have you been? Welcome back to the stream. Thank you again for the follow. CCPRN. We've got CCPRN. It's pronounced popcorn. Oh, popcorn. Thank you for following me again. Popcorn, thank you so much for the follow. Bullseye says, I made my first game for a game jam. I just finished up. What game jam? I had a game-breaking bug like every day. It happens. I was making a 2.5D game. I haven't done a 2.5D game. I should totally do it. Popcorn, there's no subscribe button. I'm not an affiliate. You can't subscribe. If you want to, you can sponsor us on GitHub. We did get approved for sponsorship, and you can also become a member on Ko-fi if you want. But there's no subscribe, so there's no ads on the stream anyway. Yeah, we have some letters missing. I'm assuming you're the original Popcorn, but we did get approved for sponsorship on GitHub, which is super cool. I got nerfed. Did they come down on you? Yeah, so we did get approved for sponsorship on our thing here. So if you want to become a monthly sponsor, you can. One-time sponsors also welcome. But you don't have to, folks. You don't have to. There's nothing. I don't need the money. You do just keep it PG-11. It's a PG-11 stream. You can do almost anything you want. As long as you keep it PG-11 within the bounds of sanity. Drinking water is hard. I felt. Look. Drinking water is tough. I feel that gravity get me when I do that. I'm so Popcorn. I'm glad. We love you too. Thank you for hanging out with us. We want to add these buttons into our grid now. So grid.add. Oh, there's not an add child. Is that right? Set parent. I bet it's set parent. Set parent. There it is. Grid dot transform. So we're going to set our parent to this transform. And there's, I think this is all we kind of need to do. Captain sold his Hobbit book. Hero Fox, a clarification on the Hobbit book. Okay. All right. That freaked me out the other day. Clarification on the Hobbit book. I have a version. It's not an original first edition. There's a version. All right. So, clarification on that. I don't own a first edition of the Hobbit. So we looked up first edition Hobbit. And because I was claiming I had a first edition of the Hobbit. And we started looking, and I started going like, this is really cool, blah, blah, blah.
Whoa.
And then I like, what? This blew my mind. I was like, something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong here. And I was like, I promise I don't have a first edition of The Hobbit. I went and looked. There is something called, I forget what it's called, the Facsimile. I have this, the Facsimile first edition, which is the first edition printing. Facsimile edition. It's quite a bit cheaper. I was like, oh my god, I need to put this in like in a climate. When I was looking, I was like, I need a climate controlled version of this. So I have the Facsimile version. Dev Dad, thank you so much for the raid. This is what I have. This is what I have. The Facsimile first edition, which happens to be. We listened to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack today, and it was epic. Yeah, Lord of the Rings, epic. I have a book on the music of Lord of the Rings. Amazing stuff going in there. Dev Dad, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome aboard. Happy to have you here. How was your stream? You make progress. If you got a raid and run, I know you got a raid and run because you're on dad duty. But thank you so much for the raid. You can't believe how much it means to me. Welcome aboard, Meow Hib. Welcome to the stream. Lol Delta, it's great to have you back. And folks, if you guys don't know the Dev Dad, you got to go get to know him. His app's coming out February 8th. Dev Dad, correct me if I'm wrong, February 8th. Half of our friends from Mulroy got on the raid train. We're on the raid train. Be sure to give Dev Dad some love. February 8th. I can't wait. And Smake, is it S-Make 5 or Smakes? S-Make 5 or Smakes? S-Make 5, I'd like to welcome you today and tell you just how much I appreciate the follow. Smakes, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here on this beautiful day. But yes, I have the Facsimile first edition. Snake, wow, 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 a song. You're welcome. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. The Hobbit Facsimile. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying this. How to pronounce Facsimile. No, not how to pronounce button prefab. Hang on, let's try again. Facsimile. I don't want to practice. Just tell me. Facsimile. So it's the fake edition. That's right. It's Facsimile. The fake edition. Facsimile. Thank you guys so much for helping me out there. Coding Chemist wants another hat. We're almost out of hats. We're on the special hats now. All right, folks. Oh boy, I'm having a hat avalanche over here. Thank you for the hat redeem. Let's add. We're up to the corn hat, folks. We're on corn hat. Corn hat added in. Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna go. We gotta do some extreme. We gotta do some reallocation here. We got the corn hat. We made it. We're on the corn hat. Perfect. There we go. Thank you for the hat. Oh man. All right. I appreciate the hat redeem. I have the Facsimile edition, so please don't come murder me for my first edition of The Hobbit. It's not this one. Please don't murder me. I don't own a first edition of The Hobbit. I own the fake first edition of The Hobbit, which is before The Lord of the Rings was written. So this is a printing before The Lord of the Rings was made. And so it has some stuff that got retconned after Lord of the Rings, which has some really interesting stuff in there. I spoiled it a little bit last time and people got upset. Yeah, please don't come murder me though. Kuwani, yeah. The one I showed the other time, I think it was this one. I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Hero Fox, Hero Fox, quiet. Shh, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Popcorn says, I'm not trying to be contrary, but the stuff that most people like is over. I think Mr. Pickles is the best show ever made. I don't know if I've ever seen Mr. Pickles. Hero Fox, it'll be our secret, okay? It'll be our secret. Okay, so let's see. I think we're going to get some grid buttons or it's going to crash. It's a good boy. Mr. Pickles, I haven't heard of that one. Anyway, Dev Dad, thank you so much for the raid. Have a beautiful day. And so glad of you to, so nice of you to come with us. All right, so not found. Okay, so clearly I have something wrong in my code still. Let's see what it's saying. When we go to load in the puzzles, I didn't swap out. Okay, I didn't actually swap this out. Load puzzle needs to make a call to our puzzle library here. Okay, so we're still using the old code here. I actually didn't finish writing this yet. We're so close. Calm down, Corfless. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for the reminder that we need to take a break. We just got raided, so I'm trying to go just to push myself. We're gonna push myself to the limit here. So this should be puzzle library dot. Why puzzle library dot load puzzle. Puzzle library. Yeah, we're gonna take a break though, I promise. Puzzle library, why is this upset? Oh, this needs to be no longer static. And this should be load puzzle ID. Let me see, where's this referenced? It's referenced in 2 places, so we'll leave it like this. It's one liner now, so actually we should be able to just swap it in like that. Can I ask for collaborators here, or am I where? No, absolutely not. Popcorn, what do you want to collaborate on? The Discord's a good place to do it as well. I know I had said username things. If your username is that, I'm totally fine with it. I'm totally fine with your username on the stream if it's CCPRN. If you want to use that username, join the Discord. You can ask for collaborator. Maybe I need a looking for group, a forum as well. Asking for collaborators. Tell us, what are you working on, Popcorn? Tell us what you're working on. Current puzzle equals load puzzle. Puzzle ID. Puzzle ID. There it is. Okay. Let's make sure. I don't know if anyone asked, what are we working on? But since Raiders are here, we're making a chess puzzle game. Single player chess puzzle game. This is a programming exercise for my students. I'm making a thing in Rust. I am making a speed dating service. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Corfless, have a beautiful day. Thank you for hanging out. Keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best Corfless you can be. You're welcome back anytime. So in this, we solve puzzles like this. I've written a console version. We've written a Raylib version. We are working on the Unity version. So we're saying, okay, what changes do I need to do for the Unity version? What are the things that I need for the Unity version to work? And so as we've gone through, we've refactored. This is an exercise, I believe, in model view controller. Some minor dependency injection now. Man, these hats. I'm struggling with these hats, folks. It's a good thing we're coming up on a break. Let's do a bash build here. Cool. Yeah. So there is a feature you can adjust it for. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I just have parents on there, so I don't want to get fired. I love my job too much to get fired. so that's really what it comes down to. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. I just get worried sometimes. Technically, my students really shouldn't be on my Discord, but I can't. It's hard to stop people because it's a public Discord. I've told them not to join it, though. Okay. Reloading. Yeah, I am going to take a break. I just want to get this one thing working. I am just married to a thing that look. I get it. I completely get it. Okay, our grid is working. Look at that. It generated a 4x4 grid. We got ourselves a 4x4 grid with some buttons on it. So they all joined as soon as you said not to. Cody Gibbons, exactly. I had one. Exactly. Well, I didn't used to say anything, and then I had a student join. And I was like, oh no, this is clearly one of my students. And I sent a message to the head of school, and I was like, hey, I have this thing going on. How should I deal with it? And he said, just tell the students not to. And it makes sense. We're really not. So anyway, I'm not going to go into too many details. So I tell students not to. It's just hard to monitor. All right, we have this working. We got to take a break, folks. We're going to deallocate this hats stack. The stack's coming down. We're deallocating. We're going to get some more bean water. We're going to get some more fresh water. When we come back, we're going to finish up this Unity project here. We're so close. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. All right, everybody, we're back. We're back. Captain's back. Captain's hair matted. I fall in love with the streamer, not the captain, but in my I watch her streams all the time. Let's keep it PG-11. I don't know, that makes me slightly uncomfortable. That topic of conversation. I would say try not to fall in love with parasocial relationships can be dangerous, is what I'll say. It's okay, Popcorn. I'll say probably a parasocial relationship. You probably need to be careful about that. If you don't know that person in real life, if you don't chat with that person outside of the stream, be careful. That would be my advice. Is be careful with that, because that can be dangerous. That can be dangerous. All right, folks, let's get some stretches in. I'm not sure if you're trying to be funny or not. If you're serious, you know, that's my advice. If you're trying to be funny, I gotcha. Let's take our fingers. We're gonna bend them back. Just look at a nice little stretch in here. Get that nice little stretch in. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Hold this for 15 seconds. Oh, and then we're gonna switch sides here. Another 5 seconds. Oh, I forgot. Roll that wrist up. My chat got turned off here. I didn't realize the chat was off. That's okay. Maybe the chat being off is a good thing. Take that other hand, pull those fingers back, get a nice stretch in, taking care of ourselves, stretching out that farm. If it hurts, stop. Has had a haircut, looking sharp. Coding Kivas, thank you so much for the compliment. It's not my favorite haircut, but it's nice. It's nice to have it off. It was getting pretty rough. Roll that wrist out. Let's do some neck rolls next. Let's take that neck. Take that neck. We're gonna go ahead and put it down in front of us. Oh yeah, feels good. Let's do nice slow rolls around. Oh, two more times. Nice. Just taking care of ourselves, taking care of our bodies, loving ourselves the way we deserve to be loved. Bring it back the other direction. Just let gravity move that head into the spot. Don't force it into any position. Just take it. Oh yeah. Let's do some shoulder rolls. My favorite shoulder rolls. Take those shoulders, put them up, back, and down, and we're just gonna roll them back. 2, 3, 4, add the elbows. 2, 3, 4, full arms. 2, 3, 4, roll them forward. 2, 3, 4, add the elbows. Stretching is so good for us. Grid paper games. Look, the captain loves you, which means you should love you. You gotta love your body. Shake it out. Look, the captain, if you're hunched over all day like a coding troll, an internet troll, a cave troll, maybe you're a basement troll, whatever type of troll you happen to be, trolls deserve love. So you got to take care of yourself. We're going to hop back in for joining those stretches. Points and all. 125 points. All of you beautiful people out there, thank you so much. We're going to hop back in here. We have 30 minutes. We got 30 minutes left here. We got 30 minutes before I have to go. I have to leave a little early today because I have maintenance coming right on the hour. So I got to make sure I'm out of here at 7:45 local. 7:45 local. So we have these buttons here. We're going to turn these into our chess pieces. I'm pretty sure they're not in the right order currently, but let's find out. I don't need this. I need the other one. When we add these in, I'm going to make these buttons. I'm going to make these buttons have the text on them. So do button.button.text just for now. Button dot. Can I not get the text? Oh, internally it has a text. Get component get component in child. All right, so let's put this on our grid button here for now. There's going to be a couple things. I'm eventually going to want to change the sprite on it. I'm going to want to change this needs to be settable. I'm going to eventually want to change the sprite on it. I'm also going to want to change the text of it. And really it's going to be a Text Mesh Pro UI. Text. It's going to be a Text Mesh Pro UGUI here. Sprite here. When we initialize, we want to do sprite is equal to button. Let's double check here. Let's go to our component. On the component itself, we have an image. So it's not a sprite, it's an image here. Have a beautiful sleep. Have a beautiful sleep. It's gonna be an image type, it looks like. Image. And then there's an image source. This will be our image equals get component image. Like that. And thank you for joining us in those stretches, Popcorn. I appreciate it. And we're gonna say our text is gonna be equal to, it's the component in our child here. So if we open this up, it has a Text Mesh Pro child inside that we need to get. So we're gonna do button dot, oh, I guess we could do get component in children Text Mesh Pro GUI like this. I think this will work. I think we'll be able to pull these things out. We'll find out very shortly. So I'm going to do this just to validate this. We'll run it, and then we can check in our inspector how it got loaded together, if it was able to find all of those components. So let's do a quick run here. I select my button, board, image, board. So we do have an image. We do have a text pointing to the right thing. So I'm pretty sure we have the right things attached here. Let's go through. We're going to have to get our images next. Before we get the images, I want to update the text. This was going to just be this simple thing I was going to do. Button dot text dot text. I know this looks weird. Is going to be equal to, because I'm pretty sure it's not putting it in the right order, rank and file like this. The order we add these, I want the top left to be rank 4, but I'm pretty sure it's incrementing 4, doing 4. I want it to be 4 in the, let's run it. I'll show you what I want. I'll show you what I want, what I really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Hey, it is in the right order. Here we go. Perfect. So this is exactly what I would. 4 at the top, 1 at the bottom. So I actually don't have to do any adjustments here. Ooh, is anyone else getting the crazy optical illusion where it looks like there's little fuzzy white stuff between all the squares, but there's not? There's this optical illusion that my eye is seeing where it's like slightly white between those. That's fascinating. All right, so our buttons actually did load up properly, which is awesome. It's an optical illusion. It's an optical illusion. It's wild. Your brain trying to fill in that information there. But there is nothing. If we were here, let's watch. I'll show you. I'll show you the optical illusion here. If we keep zooming in, nope, it's all the same color. It's all the same color. But if I zoom out, your brain puts the optical illusion there. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Unintentional optical illusion here, but we got it. We got it. Okay. So I want to put an image on these. And so I'm going to add in our sprites. It's amazing how complicated this Unity version is getting. Unity's super fat. I'd call Unity super fat. We're going to do a Godot version tomorrow, and I'm going to see if Godot is just as thick as this. Puzzle controller here. Oh, wrong one. We might do a Blazor one. So there's 2 more. I want to do a Blazor one. I want to do, maybe we'll do Godot, do a compare to it. Thindle, welcome back to the stream. How you doing, my friend? I've missed you. I've missed you. Thindle, what are you up to on this beautiful day? I hope you're having a beautiful day, my friend. Thindle. You know I love you so. You keep me going, you keep me smiling, you keep me fresh and so clean. Thindle, welcome to the stream, my friend. It's great to have you. Okay. Wired is, I think Weird is one of the ones that comes with an E after the E before the I. Oh, being annoyed. What's if you don't mind me asking? You don't have to tell us. I'm sorry things are annoying you, but anything specific annoying you, and you don't have to share. If that's overreaching, feel free to ignore me. I before E except after C and a bunch of weird cases. no, a bunch of weird cases. Azure VPN certificate renewal. Yikes. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Okay, my sprites here. We have all of our sprites coming in. I need these to not be compressed. By default, these get compressed. And so what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the compression on filter, no filter, apply. I feel like there's one other thing I usually have to do here to keep them from being compression. Compression none. There we go. No compression. Otherwise, they'll get weird colors and pixelization issues on them. So we're gonna add these now. We're gonna make the image here. These. I need an image library. I need to find my images as well. So I need to make another scriptable object for these. So let's create another scriptable object. This is gonna be our piece library, like this, and our piece library. YAML hell, so I can feel the annoyance. YAML, it's almost YAML, JSON. Ideally, you don't have to write those things by hand. Typically, hopefully. That sounded felt almost like, I'm sorry, I didn't. No, I'm sorry if it came across that way. I was just like, oh man, I wasn't laughing. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that. Currently, I'm glad is not the right word. I am grateful that I am not annoyed by an Azure certificate issue because I know how painful that can be. But I'm wishing you the best of luck and hoping for a quick resolution. You doing it, server config? Yikes. Weird and C's are the two common exceptions to the rule, which is full runs I before E except after C when sounds like E. I like that. I like that. All right, so we're gonna make this another scriptable object. And what is the type of the source image here? So we do image dot source sprite. It is a sprite. What is the type of this field? Sprite. Okay. So we're gonna come in. We're gonna say our piece library. Our piece library needs the font public. Array. I need a mapping. I need a mapping here from. Can I do lists of pairs? I'm gonna have to make another object. I'm gonna list of entries here, and I have to make an entry for this to make it something I can set in here. This is our piece entry, and then we'll have a public class entry, and I think this needs to be serializable. And this has two entries. It has a chess piece, and then it has a public sprite image. So we need to make a list of entries, and I can make this an array of entries as well. An array of entries like this, and we'll call it piece entries, like so. We have to make an asset menu for it. Create asset menu, file name equals piece library, chess. I might have just called it puzzler / piece library. This should be menu name. Let's take a look at that. Lil Dot, are you asking if I got some lunch? I have not gotten lunch. It's 7:30 here. I must have missed something. Daniel says I've gotten there. Ha! You don't have a valid certificate. It feels like that. I'm a bit sad that Progress is publishing one new champion per day and they haven't gotten to me. Good luck. 1424 here. That'd be 2:30. Are you well, Captain? I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Doing absolutely wonderful. Indeed, I can wake up code. It's a beautiful day. And that's what I'm going for today. Sean Codes, thank you for the follow. Have you met Sean Codes? They just followed me, you know. Thank you so much, Sean. Welcome to the family. Sean Codes, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you being here on this beautiful Monday. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coder's Camp. We got a bunch of new people here. If you're new here, I am Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me, and me is Captain Coder. Captain Coder, me, is a full-time computer science educator. I work full-time as a teacher at a school for ages 10 to 14. This stream is dedicated to learning and coding and growing together as a crew. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you want a backseat code, go for it. I can't promise we'll always do it. If you have projects to share, join the Discord. Share those projects. We do a showcase the third Saturday of every month, February 17th coming up. If you have some project you want to share with us, share it with us. What serializable mean? Great question, Hyper. We'll get to that. I got to answer. I'm going to go to Sandwich. Sandwich. Oh, Sandwich. You sound delicious, my friend. We've got Sandwich. Yes, Sandwich. Followed me today. Sandwich, you know I love you so. Thank you for the follow, and it goes, oh, Sandwich, thank you for following me. Sandwich, thank you for the follow. Hyper is asking, what does serializable mean? What does serializable mean? What a fantastic question. Moon is, we had a break, they popped off, no one's redeemed one. No one's redeemed a hat since we came back from the break. Ahmad, scatter, scatter. So serializable says that this thing can be serialized. And so the question might be, what is serialization? What is serialization? Thank you for the hat, Redeem. Thindle, let's get a hat here. Thank you for the hat, Redeem. Appreciate it. You're about to run out of points. We brought the points down a little bit. Moon is no longer rank 1. Oh, that's, you know why, Moon is? That's hilarious. You know why? It's because of me. I get there. Yeah, thank you for the hat, Redeem. Thank you for the hat, Redeem. 1 second. Let's do a points remove the captain code. I gave myself 200,000 points the other day as a joke. Oh, not enough. Let's add another 180 to that. There we go. All right, Moonez, you're back in the action. Yeah, thank you for the hat, Redeem. You have to wait a little bit. I did cheat. Congratulations on your points. So the question. All right, let's get serious for a moment. Question someone asked, what is serializable? What does the serializable attribute do? In Unity, in programming, serialization is the process in which we take data and read or write it to a file, to a data stream, put it somewhere. So serialization says, how do we turn this thing? Something that is serializable can be turned into data, can be turned into a file, can be sent over the network. By making it serializable, we are making it so it can be visible to the Unity editor. Let's take a look at that. So in our puzzle library here, I can create a new puzzle piece library. So our piece libraries are images. We have these entries here. And if I add an entry, I can now set the piece and the image here. So my pawn, I'm going to set that to be the pawn sprite here. If this wasn't serializable, so check it out. If I make this not serializable, I don't think it'll show up here. If I come back over here, we need to be able to turn it. So notice I no longer can access it in my inspector. Making something serializable indicates, hey, I want to be able to transform this thing into data that can be sent between applications, that can be communicated with over a network. And by adding the serializable attribute to a Unity class, it makes it visible to the inspector. There's some caveats there, but that's essentially the answer. So now I have this library. So if I want to have a different library of images, I can swap them out. So this one might be, if I have different styles of pieces, I can actually use this now to create those different styles. Maz is suggesting, consider using an instance of a class with a sprite ID and some flags instead of an actual sprite in entry. Your sprite manager, when asked to draw a sprite, can choose to do all sorts of things. It could draw a real sprite or some other debugging thing based on the flags. That's true. That's a good idea as well. What you might do is extend this to rather being a sprite, have it be something that knows how to be drawn onto the screen. I do like that. I do like that. And then ideally we could have different, library might be the wrong word. We have our piece library here. We could actually say, oh, this is our black pieces library. And then we can create another library that is our white pieces library. One is our debug pieces library. One is our, Fortnite themed library. And you just swap it in. There's a menu you can go and you select which one to do, and it just swaps it out. It just swaps it out. So now in our puzzle controller, we're gonna say, okay, what am I using to get my pieces here? What am I using to get my pieces here? So we're gonna come in here. We just gotta set all of these images now. This is the strategy I'm using. There's a bunch of different ways we could do it. This is what I am choosing to do. Bishop, knight, king, queen. Let's do the queen here. Queen. Maz, I think that's an excellent idea. That's a great alternative. Lately I've been trying to not overcomplicate things. This feels like almost overcomplicated. Oh, you guys, the chat's in the way. So we missed it there. I hope that answered your question though. Hyper, I think Hyper asked that. Hyper, let me know if that didn't answer your question or if someone else asked the question. Let you switch from a 2D or 3D game on the fly. We could do something like that too. That I think would require a whole different interface using. I'm trying to do this in a Unity way. So I'm trying not to complicate things, Smab. I actually am trying to not complicate them, but also making it modular. So I'm trying to keep it modular without overcomplicating it, so we can what are the things that we can reuse? What's the way to reuse these things? And I think we're doing a decent job with that. I have found that, and maybe I just need to be a little bit better in Unity. I am finding the Unity version requiring me to add complexity in a way to keep it from without getting crazy complex. You need to relax with some CS2 game and nice Drevs. Drevs, that sounds awesome. What were you working? If you don't have to answer this, but I'm curious, what were you working on in C++? What were you working on? Board game button prefab here. So now I want to have my public. This would be our piece library. So Maz, if I did this, I would want my puzzle controller to be the 3D version, right? So now my puzzle controller, how I interact with these things are going to change a bunch. And so I have abstracted out the logic of the game. We could build another, so this would be like our 2D puzzle controller. Maybe we switch to a 3D puzzle controller. So our piece library here. Our piece library, I'm gonna write a dumb method here. Public. For this one, I want to get a sprite back. Lookup, I'm just call it lookup here. I'm gonna take a chess piece, and it's gonna just find the sprite inside of this entries dot where piece is equal to this is entry dot piece is equal to piece, like that. We'll do a first, and then we'll do the actual sprite image. I'm gonna rename that to sprite. Okay, so I'm gonna make it do this. I'm gonna make this thing here like that. So we're gonna say, look in our entries, find the one that matches our piece. I could do a thing where we have a dictionary. I know this is gonna be a relatively small thing, so the operation isn't terribly expensive. I could add a complexity here. I say, okay, well, I want it to be fast, so I'm gonna create a dictionary when we initialize this thing. If the entries change, we have to rebuild our dictionary. This feels straightforward enough, simple to me. If we run into an issue where this is too slow, we can optimize it. I actually feel like building a dictionary is probably slower. We can also index by our chess piece as well. When the game loads up, it can tell Sprite Manager to load text or JSON file that pairs sprite IDs with the associated graphics. Sprite Manager would have loading, unloading, rendering, etc. for it. Yeah, so that would be your puzzle controller. That you'd set up your scene manager a little bit. You'd do your puzzle controller here. I think you're gonna see pretty here that this particular project, I've tried to set it up in a way so we don't have to manage the state of the game is completely abstracted away from the UI. We're using Unity just to control and move stuff. The Vibing Guy says, nice hat. Thank you. Thank you. Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one do you like? Or are they both nice hats? Vibing Guy, welcome to the stream. Happy Monday, my friend. It's great to have you here. They're both nice. I wear mini hats. I wear mini hats here, Vibing Guy, and I appreciate you saying that. Points. And the Vibing Guy, 250 points to you. Thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate it. Green, I think, slightly better. Yeah, this is the one on the bottom. This is my favorite hat. This is like my go-to hat. I wear this one everywhere. This is my Bailey. It's my Bailey. I do like this one too. The canner's not bad. It's the canner hat. Okay. So what I want to do here is I'm going to make it so my button.image.sprite is going to be equal to, and we're going to have a piece library here. Piece library dot lookup. This feels like the wrong one, and we're going to pass in. Hang on. We're going to take the text off of these. So I'm going to set their text to be blank. And we'll probably take text out in general. If we have a piece, so we're going to say board.isOccupied at the rank and file. Then we are going to look up the image, look up here. Then we want to set it to, and the piece we're going to look at is board.getPiece at the rank and file, rank file. So this should draw an image on each of our buttons, here. Let's give it a shot. Let's see how it do, crew. Let's see how it do. Oh, hang on, it's gonna crash. It's gonna crash. I've not actually specified my controller here. I've not given it a puzzle library yet. Puzzle library. Okay, and it looked like my sprites got reset because I was fiddling with something. Pawn. 1 second. Let's add all these back in here. Open up this window. We're gonna come into our sprites. We're gonna just add these in. Pawn, bishop, king, knight, queen. I might have hit something weird happened. I don't know why it didn't save there. All right, let's try it now. And it should maybe, there we go. It did a thing. These are in the wrong spots. These are in the wrong spots. But we have pieces we can click. This is weird. Let's put our text back in. See if we can figure out what happened. My guess. Let's put our text back in. We'll make the text rank. We'll do file rank. Add the text back on it. So the puzzle should be. I'm assuming there's some new line issues going on. The puzzle should be this one. It's hard to see here. Should be this puzzle. So we should have if I zoom in here, we should have this puzzle. Let's see if we can get that to load. Balint is here, folks. The incredible, edible, insatiable science streams. Guys, if you guys don't know science, go check them out. Balint, Microscopy Monday tonight, folks. Microscopy Monday. You're gonna want to check out science. You want to learn something about science. You want to learn something about nature. Go check them out. I've done something incorrectly here with how these are drawing. I'm gonna have to figure out how to debug this. We got 5 minutes. You're edible. We got 5 minutes, so we got to wrap up here. We'll be back tomorrow, though. We'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna find someone to raid. But Lint, I have some maintenance people coming to work on our vents today, so I gotta get out of here, unfortunately, right now. Let's do a commit. In games where you have multiple instances of identical things like pawns or monsters, you would want the sprite manager to store only one copy of each, but each created instance of the monster would have its own. Maz, I think we only have one instance of the sprite in the version that we've done. Oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine. They're just fixing some ductwork. So our heater, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I don't want to go into too much detail because we'll start rambling. Everything's completely fine. Git commit chore begin Unity implementation. We'll be back tomorrow, folks. A piece is not an instance. A piece is not an instance. There is a piece is an enumerated type. Here, I'll show you. Let's go look at piece. One sec. Piece library. Piece is just an enum. Piece is just an enum saying, hey, I happen to be a pawn, a rook, a bishop, a knight, a queen, a king. And then our piece library is just a tool that says, okay, given a piece, what image should it be if I'm in 2D land? What sprite should it be in? So I only have one sprite. I only have one thing like that. So there aren't instances of pieces like that. And then the board, it won't let me do it there. I love the Unicode. Yeah, it made the console version pretty nice. It made the console version of this pretty nice. Folks, I'm getting distracted here. Mass, go check out the source code if you want to check it out. We have a Raylib version, .NET Run project. We have a terminal version. So Thindle, I don't know if you saw this version. I need to go up 2 directories. This version was just so fun. So we have a console version of the game. We have a console version of the game that looks like this. We can play the game in the terminal. I'm typing too fast. We can play the game in the terminal. We can go through all of our puzzles. There's 80 puzzles. We can solve the puzzle. There's a puzzle solver involved. We made a Raylib version as well. So we made a Raylib version of it. So we have a Raylib version. I loved doing the Raylib version. This was super fun to do. So again, we have, it reuses as much code as possible. We have a controller and we have a view. The Unity version, we're getting close on. The Unity version is going to be a point and click version of it. But we do have a Raylib version here, which has been super fun to do. Okay, we're going to find someone to raid. So we're working on the Unity version. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Folks, if you want to know the exact time, 7 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Eastern. But if you join the Discord, and you check out, there's a schedule, you can find it. It'll show your local times on the Discord. We'll be back tomorrow. We will probably be finishing up this Unity version. I might finish it offline. But there's at least two more versions coming. We're gonna do a Blazor web version, and then we're also gonna do a Godot version. I have found the Unity version is the most complex one to get working so far. The Raylib version was super easy. The console version was super easy. Unity is requiring me to add extra stuff to make it work. Maybe that's because I've decided to do the extra work, but let's see if we can find someone to raid, folks. Do you want to go raid Mo? I think it'd be hilarious to raid Mo. JavaSource X! We're going to raid JavaSource X. We haven't raided JavaSource X in a while. Let's see how long JavaSource X has been going. Oh, JavaSource X is ending. Never mind. Let's go raid. Andy Lippy is cool. Andy Lippy does... All right. Do you guys want to go look at... Andy Lippy does OBS stuff for Twitch. So he worked on OBS shaders and plugins, OBS stuff. We also could do... Dev Spagus working on a game in Unity. Dev Spagus' game is awesome. Oh, everyone's ending. All right, so that's probably what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna go raid Andy Lippy unless there are any strong feelings about wanting to go into game dev. But we're gonna check out Andy Lippy, folks. Thank you guys for hanging out. Remember to keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. When we get in there, be sure to tell Andy Lipley, show us your OBS plugins. Show us your OBS plugins when you get in there, folks. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.